Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the iRacing Esports Network and welcome to the home of the Belgian Grand Prix. We are at Francorchamps in Belgium, getting set for the latest instalment of the Apex Racing, the TCR Winter Series. Well, Happy New Year, everybody. It's been a while since we were up and running in this series, and we pick up where we left off pretty much. We are in the Showdown. We had the first race meeting of it just before the holiday period, and we're getting set to carry on with it. The Grand Prix section here at Spa today, so we'll be getting underway on the front straight, going into La Source, and then we'll be going from there. In the commentary box tonight, it's me, Adam Bath, and Andrew Woodhouse. He'll be along in a moment, but first we've got Sam Kumo here, and Sam, it's a track that pretty much the whole field knows, and we've got a bumper grid to restart the season as well. 39 cars or so as we're in qualifying right now.
Yeah, hello. Yeah, this is definitely one of the classic tracks, and it's surprisingly old for iRacing. So I think like here, especially I think the team strategy will be playing a big part here because we have such a long straights, and this car doesn't have that high top speed. So I mean, this is almost like a Monza. You will see the draft packs, but I think the qualifier will be equally as important.
Yeah, it's been on the iRacing service since around 2010 or so. That was when this circuit was scanned. Not much has changed since then. In fact, not much has changed at this circuit in quite some time. But as the field currently circulates around here, it is Wojciech Savinovic that is currently on provisional pole. In fact, scratch that because Jack Sedgwick has just gone to the top of the timing screen to a 2:32.429. Wojciech Savinovic is right behind him. He's just put in a new personal best with a 2:32.6, and then it's Dave Baker in third, Jake Blackwell fourth, Ross McFarlane fifth, and then Simmons, Simpson, Kraft, Hadfield, and Harrod rounding out the top 10 set.
Yeah, this is exactly all the Apex cars in line here. We got Simmons, Sedgwick, and Svirovic. And is that also, do I spot Alex Simpson? Yes, he is also, I think he's leading this pack right here.
Well, I'm going off the timing screens at the moment, having a few issues getting into the session, but we're looking at some of the other positions in the top 20 anyway. Mark Woodhouse, the highest of the Pro-Am drivers. Then it's Michael Blake, then we've got Rich Warmingham, Adam Hedgecock and Ben Palmer all in the top 22. And one thing we've seen so far this season, we also saw it before the Christmas break as well, Sam, was that the Pro-Am drivers are really doing a good job this season, and we can see that here, even in the qualifying session where you would expect the Pros and the Pro-Ams to be right up there. We've got quite a few Pro-Am drivers in there too, and the Small Times Immortal car there of Mark Woodhouse doing quite well as we're looking at him now going around the circuit. He's just coming into Pouon now.
Yeah, I think that has been kind of the theme of this season so far, that in every single race we've had a few AM drivers who have been just blindingly quick in the top 10s and really challenging the pro drivers. But I don't think it has been very consistent like who has it been right now. It's Woodhouse, but who knows? As we are now following Adam Hedgecock, coming to complete his time. Is he currently on hot lap? He is, but it doesn't look like he's going to improve. In fact, he is returning back to the pits as the qualifier is about to come to an end.
Qualifying session coming to an end then. Who is looking like they're doing their best times. Looking here at John Roberts. He is just coming through the bus stop chicane, coming up to the line. But it looks like he's not going to be able to improve. Alex Simpson, what can he do? He comes over the timing line now, and he moves up a little. He improves by a fraction, goes up to 9. In fact, George Simmons with a late lap there, 2:32.819, puts him in 4th. Paul Smith over the line, not too sure whether the Yorkshireman has improved there. Sam Fitzpatrick, good to see him here in the session. Chris Wood in P25, 1.8 seconds off the pace. Nicole Foggy, he likes to do well around here. 2 green boxes to end the lap. Looks like he didn't improve. No, he didn't. 2:34.570. Chris Wood, 2:32.429 is the time to beat from Sedgwick. Can the driver that currently sits in 26th place improve on that? The answer is Yes, he improves by 2 places. 2:33.978 puts him fractionally ahead of Paul Smith. And after that, I think there's not too many more cars left to circulate. Currently 32nd place and 36th place on the circuit. That's Andrew Whitehead and Kip Stevens, former champion of the BSR TC that preceded the ARL TCR. So not too long to go for them. I doubt they are on qualifying laps because the checker flag has been out for some time now. So
yeah, I would
set to
say
go.
Andrew might be on the qualify lap, but it doesn't seem like he's improving. Kip Stevens definitely isn't. His sector times are much slower than before, so I think we just need to wait for the system timer to take over at this point.
Indeed, yeah. Not too long to wait now, and then we'll be getting ready to go.
In fact, it actually looks like Whitehead did improve his sector 3 times, so we'll see what happens here as he comes across the line. Is that going to be an improvement? No, it is. It is not. He will be taking it to the pits. We do have Lee Berich, who I believe has not yet set the lap time, and is in fact on his first lap right as the session is about to end, so I don't know if he has enough time to put in a time.
Doesn't look like it, does it? Here he is trundling down the lane now, and he is going to come back into his pit box. Here is Lee Berich, as it looks like I've finally been able to see what you're seeing, Sam. And we can now run you through the grid. The only thing I'm missing is sound, but one step at a time. At least I can see I can see what I'm talking about. Gridding process beginning then. We've got 2 minutes or so, and we can run you through the grid in its entirety for you. And here it is. It's on your screen. Jack Sedgwick is on the pole, and it's Wojciech Savidovic starting in P2. Then it's Dave Baker, George Simmons, Jake Blackhall starting in P5. Then Ross McFarlane, Ash Sutton, Nicole Foggy there in P8. And then it's Alex Simpson 9th, and Dan Kraft completing the top 10. Adam Hadfield 11th, 12th on the grid is going to be and Pete Harrod. Then it's Mark Woodhouse, Colin Cunniff, the Scotsman, Miguel Freitas, Ben Palmer, Christian Rose, then the 2 Coopers, Jason Cooper and Luke Cooper. Michael Blake completing the top 20. You can start to see just how many cars we've got here. They're literally queuing out on the entry into the bus stop chicane. The rest of them, Rich Wilmingham, Adam Hedgecock, David Von Breck, Chris Wood, Paul Smith. There's Sven Glatzel in 26th spot. And then 27th, Jamie Rushworth, Scott Malcolm, Lars Van Rijn, then John Roberts. There's Sam Fitzpatrick in 31st. Then Andrew Whitehead, Simon Field, Alex Sneller, then Pete Newman, Kip Stevens, Anna McNally. And then the grid is completed by Lee Berridge, Sean Gardner, and Carl Pokrefsky, which is going to be a bit of a tongue twister, I reckon, as the evening goes on. I hope that's how you pronounce it anyway. But there we go. We can see most of the cars on the grid. And Jack Sedgwick is the one right at the front. It's an Apex Racing Team 1-2. Will that be the case when we get to the end of this one? It is, in the past, in the Kia, a Slipstream Fest. Will it be the same here in the Audi TCR cars? We're getting set to go then. Here come the lights. And when they go out, the first race of 3 here today at Spa will be getting underway. Lights out, runs away here at Spa-Francorchamps. It's a good start by a couple of the Automet cars, but it's going to be Jack Sedgwick leading into the first corner. Wojciech Savidovic in second. Watch out for everyone here going through La Source. Let's hope they can get through cleanly. Looking here at Colin Cunniff, Ben Palmer as well. But as the field goes down towards Eau Rouge and Radion, it is still Jack Sedgwick that leads, Wojciech Savidovic second, Dave Baker third. And we've also got Andrew Woodhouse here, just in the nick of time as well as we go up the hill. Oh, crash! That's Rich Warmingham.
Now Warmingham coming a cropper then. Happy New Year, Adam.
Hello
everybody. Welcome to the Showdown. This is going to be good. Down the Camel Straight for the first time. And Sedgwick leading Savidovic. And Simmons sneaking up into third. Adam, that's important, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's all important in terms of the title, of course, because we've got the Showdown to contend with too as we come out of Malmedy and towards We come towards Rivage at the bottom of the hill. And now looking at Ben Palmer in 18th. There's Pete Harrod. He's in P13 as well. Not the best to start to him. He's lost 1 place. But here we go through the corner with No Name. And everybody's bunching up into quite a few packs so far.
Yeah, as it tends to do on the first lap here. People making mistakes running wide. There's a few long straights. So, of course, the people are going to get runs. And look at that bumping and banging between the Automech car of, I want to say that's Cooper maybe, and possibly Palmer. CQR car going wide, then onto the runoff area. Ash Sutton and Alex Simpson. They're battling through the Fanyes chicane. Simpson loves this circuit. So we're looking to put in a good run here. Look at this. Look at the battle for third now.
So chaotic here in the midfield, isn't it? And at the front too.
Baker was trying to make a move there, Adam, on Simmons, but he found that Ross McFarlane was right there. So as soon as he tried to make any sort of advances, Scotsman was right on him. He got Blackhall now as well. He runs wide coming through Blanchimont. Fastest corner on the track. And into the bus stop chicane. Oh, contact there. Blackhall going deep and hitting McFarlane, and Foggy going wide as well. I think Simpson and Sutton are going to gain the most out of that one. Yeah, and into La Source they go. Fairly well behaved, wasn't it? But at the hairpin, at the chicane, it looked like Blackhall just got the braking wrong, Adam.
Yeah, not the best of entries into that chicane, that must be said. Ross McFarlane here in trouble. That's not what he wants at all. The V-Racer car is crawling into Eau Rouge and Radion.
Oh, he's going to get hit, yes.
Oh, dear.
He was punted slightly by Adam Hedgecock.
Oh, first one of the year.
One of the year. Oh, my goodness me. Oh, on the grass and into the wall goes the Team Mad car, and Hedgecock's around. I didn't see how that happened. I was looking at the Team Mad car that had got into the outside wall.
A lot of cars involved there. The incident just seemed to keep on going, but the main people involved in it, Alex Nella, Paul Smith, looks like he's in difficulty too. He's taken the long way around the chicane.
Was it Smith who ended up in the barrier on the outside, Adam? I wonder.
Could very well have been.
If we can get a replay of that, Sam, see if we can see. Yeah, it was Smith in the wall, wasn't it, on the outside? I wonder if we can go back a bit earlier, maybe to the coming out of Eau Rouge, just to see what happened there. That's Smith touring as he's gone wide, but yeah, it all went wrong for him on the Kemmel Straight. Don't know why he ended up drifting across, but yeah, Hedgecock seemed to lose it as well in a separate incident. Don't know if he got together with the V-Racer car at all.
Well, Adam Hedgecock, that's not the best of starts to the evening for him. He will, of course, be helped out by the reverse grid for race 2, which, of course, we have at the end of this one.
Yeah, that's if indeed he can stay within 2 laps down. I'm sure he will, unless he gets a meatball flag, of course. Jack Sedgwick and Wojciech Savidovic are leading the way for Apex Racing. Great start for them. And really, it's been the story of the second half of the season, isn't it? The resurgence of Savidovic and Sedgwick just being quick everywhere. Savidovic was all at sea, wasn't he, in the first part of the season, but just scraped in the wild card. And he's using that to good effect here.
And of course, yeah, we mentioned just at the end of the qualifying session, it is the 2 teammates that are leading the way. And you're right, Wojciech Savidovic, no stranger to this situation, a title fight, as George Simmons disappears briefly, but comes back to us. He's got Dave Baker for company, and Dave Baker would love nothing more than to break the Apex stranglehold here, and he's got a good run through Radion. Yeah,
he wants the last spot on the podium, does Dave Baker. That's where he started. Simmons managed to reverse the position. Can Baker get back what was his at the beginning? Around the outside into Lecombe then. Oh, and he's done it. That's lovely. Very clean. Not leaving Simmons any chance to come back, at least not through Malmedy. You'd be a brave man, I think, to have a go into Rivage. The way that the corner sort of slopes away from you just induces the understeer. So if you do go up the inside there, you could well just run into the car in front. Well, this is the iRacing Esports Network. The ARL TCR series, the Showdown is upon us. And the Spa-Francorchamps circuit is certainly the way to kick off the new year of racing here on Apex Racing TV.
It's been the perfect bookend, really. We had the final race meeting before Christmas was at Monza, and then we go to Spa in the first race meeting of 2020 here. And here's one driver that needs no introduction, really, to viewers, to regular viewers of the ARL TCR, and probably not to many motorsport fans. It's Ash Sutton. He's trying to get past Jake Blackhall, an Aussie driver, of course. Send our best to everybody over there.
Oh, yeah.
Sutton, he's got a great run here through the exit of Stavelo and Kerr Paul Frere. He's going into Blanchimont now. We know this might not end well. A little bit of a nudge, that's all fair. It'd take a brave man to go up the inside into Blanchimont as well, but he might be shaping him up for a move into the bus stop chicane.
Yeah, you still have to be quite brave here. To have a lunge up the inside, Sutton locking up. He struggles to get the car slowed down. Great exit though, look at that, look how he's pulled away. A couple of tenths added to his advantage then. And he sets the fastest lap as a result. But Dan Kraft, just behind him, he sets the fastest lap. Alex Simpson breaks into the 232s, but an invalid lap, I guess, so it doesn't count for the fastest one. Baker was also in the 32s as well, he went even quicker.
Everybody all getting back into the saddle, really. I wonder if they've had too much practice over the winter period, but Dave Baker, since moving up into that third place, he has really checked out, hasn't he? 0.6 of a second is quite a lot these days in the ARL TCR, and there is a bit of slipstream too, but our attention turns to the battle behind Simmons, really, isn't it? It's Sutton versus Blackhall, round number 2 here, going into Les Combes. Watch out for number 22 as well. That's Dan Kraft. He's a man on a mission. He's gained 4 places, and that there is the 4th one he's just gained as he goes round the outside of the Knight Rider Motorsports car.
Well, yeah, Kraft. Yeah. That's him. That's him hanging on to that place, isn't it? As he was just behind Sutton, Alex Simpson, and Nicole Foggy, then trying to make their way through, potentially into a top 5 position by the end of the race if they can make a couple of good, clean overtakes. 4 retirements so far in the first round of 2020. Michael Blake, Paul Smith, Sven Glatzel, and Rich Warmingham. So Glatzel it was then. It appears Adam was the car who was caught up in the Kemmel Straight accident.
Yeah, that's a shame. That's a real shame for Small Time Immortal as well, because they had some good qualifying. Michael Blake was one of the highest pro-ams in the field after qualifying, but unfortunately for him that hasn't worked out at all. Here is Mark Woodhouse, who is the leading pro-am driver, and he's doing quite well here. He's got Colin Cunniff in front, and he's got the Automech car of Jason Cooper. The Automech car of Jason Cooper, and Cooper and Automech were one of the standout teams in the first part of the season before the winter break. Yeah,
it was a terrific qualifying for Woodhouse. He really did stamp his authority on this pro-am category in this race. Van Broek, he's in second place in the category in 20th overall, and then it's followed by Lars Van Rijn in 24th, so quite a big gap. 14th, 20th and 24th, the top 3 positions in this category. Quarter panel, there goes Blackhall.
Oh dear, DQ as well on the opening. Or maybe
already.
not too sure, but yeah, he did disappear.
And he was DQ, I think, isn't it? He's yeah.
He was getting swamped going into the bus stop, so I'm not sure what happened to kick-start it. No doubt we'll probably have a replay in a minute, but here we're looking at Alex Simpson, and he's in a little bit of bother here because he has got Pete Harrod swarming all over the place as we look at the rear of the former iRacing World Championship Grand Prix Series driver.
Tell you what, Adam, the quarter panel, we thought the quarter panel might not be that effective in these Audis. Still there, isn't it? Maybe not quite as easy to do, but Yeah, still well and truly. I think because the Audi's got more weight behind it, I think it compensates for the fact that it's a bit harder to execute the move, so to speak. And Simpson fighting hard to keep his 9th place. Pete Harrod just behind is the one on the move, and Cunniff in 11th. Simpson actually is starting to hold this group up now, it looks like.
Yeah, there's a train of about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up 6 cars or so, all separated by just a couple tenths of a second. All different teams represented here too, because this is the power of the ARL TCR. We've got Apex there, we've got Sim Sports Racing USA, then we've got XVR Sim Racing, then Small Time Sim Auto, Team Mad, Automech.co.uk right at the back there with Jason Cooper. Everybody competing very spotted track, and you just saw there on the timing tower on the left hand side of your screen too, the representation that we've got in the field. As we've got just under 8 minutes to go now, and last time around Dave Baker put in the fastest lap of the race, 2:32.9, as he continues his pursuit of the Apex Racing team duo at the front of the field. Right, this is a replay of what happened to Jake Blackhall.
Yeah, let's see then. So it's going to be coming out of the... So Simpson hits him, and he tries to come back on, and it's Freitas, isn't it, who gives the quarter panel.
Oh dear.
And in fact, I think, Adam, it might have just been the off-track that did it.
Rather than the loss of control, maybe, yeah.
Because he may have got a 4X from getting hit into the chicane.
Well, he was hit by 99, and then he was done by 999 after that. Not the way he would have wanted to start his year. Jack Sedgwick over the line then. Here he is, 0.3 of a second. Fastest lap of the race to boot as well, 2:32.9. The reason why Wojciech isn't in purple is because it's probably been an invalidated lap. He was fractionally quicker.
In fact, pretty much everyone just behind him is quicker. But they look like they've all invalidated their laps. Nick or Foggy, 2:32.2. Is he in the same race as everybody else, or is he on the same course as everybody else? Could be the thing there. Is Colin Cunniff out? Has he been disqualified?
He wasn't there for a second, was he? I wonder what the incident limit here is, because we don't often see too many DQs in the ARL TCR, but nonetheless, the XVR Sim Racing car is dropping down the order.
20.
20, well, I guess there are a
People
few...
got 20 already, though. I think this is what we say. We've said this every year. If you get 20 incidents in 5 laps and you get disqualified, well, it's just your own fault, isn't it?
What must you be averaging to get? You must be averaging 5 incidents a lap. Anyway, into the pits.
That's it. I mean, you go. We know the track limits around here are quite punishing, but you got to keep that in mind. I think we've seen at least 2 drivers disqualified. Granted, Blackhall wasn't. Didn't seem like it was his own fault. We didn't see what happened to Colin Cunniff, but it's getting disqualified already. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I'm no saint when it comes to incidents. So
getting disqualified either, is there? Because Andrew Whitehead.
Oh, well, we saw for a second ago that one boosted car was in the pits in Adam Hedgecock, and now one's off at Lake Holmes. So this race isn't going too well for them here. The highest driver in the field is currently this guy, David Van Breck. Good mind think alike,
Yes.
Sam, the director, as he goes through Pool 1. 5 positions gained for the Belgian. It's his home race.
Well, there you go. And he'll be looking to do a good job here, and he is doing so far. Christian Rose in front, Pete Newman behind. Not easy company for Van Broek, but we did see him. He was at Canadian Tire, wasn't it? That he was well inside the top 10. So he's had a great second half of the season, really has.
You can tell that the drivers are running the incidents just because all the names on the timing tower every so often all flash up in red. If their number goes red, that means they're off the circuit, just as Dan Craft and Nick Foggy were doing just then.
You got to bear in mind, though, haven't you? When you approach this kind of race with 20 incidents around the track like this, where we're going to get, you're going to get 7 or 8 laps. Surely you've got to leave yourself enough incidents. We've seen the drivers going off the track and sort of pushing the limits there. You've got to leave yourself something just in case there is a 4X or even just a spin, because that's it. And there's the incident count. Look, you see it on the screen. Can we bring that back up, do you think?
Oh yeah, Jamie Rushworth is really at fret, as you can see. One 4X, and he's done for race 1. So
Sutton's done 15, Kraft's done 14, and most of those have been off tracks. Some people are just doing it as a matter of course here, and that's the thing. They're just not giving themselves the margin. Russ was starting to break away slightly from this group. And
Fight
that's
for the best.
17 because he just picked one up there on the entry to Eau Rouge.
So close in the fight for third. There it is. Dave Baker versus George Simmons. Simmons has sat back for a little bit, but now he's starting to apply the heat on this cold January evening.
Simpson dropping down the order.
Oh dear.
He's lost 3 places. I wonder if he's taken a penalty going up the hill.
Both Cooper and Fitzpatrick were off the circuit as well. Here is Jamie Rushworth. He's just been overtaken by.
I thought he'd been disqualified then. He disappeared. What a circuit this is, though. It really is. I mean, I wouldn't say that it's one of my favourite circuits in terms of personally, but you know, it is brilliant.
Oh, it is a guarantee. Usually get a guarantee of good races here.
I do like it.
Love to see bikes around here. That'd be interesting.
Wow, yeah.
Have driven this circuit in reverse on other games.
Let us know, by the way, in the comments if you know of any bike racing that does happen here. That'd be fun to see. It's got enough runoff area and things, you'd think.
Yeah, even on this layouts here that we're currently looking at, the 2010 one, and there's been a few more tarmac runoff areas put around the circuit since then. As we continue to ride on board with Ben Palmer going through the right-hander. Jack Sedgwick was off for a little bit.
While.
Must have gone too quickly through Blanchimont, I reckon.
Do we think we'll see a battle here? This is the question. Between Sedgwick and Savidovic. This will be the last lap then.
You could understand in the regular season if these two wanted to steer clear of another, but points mean everything here, and there's no guarantee of more points in race 2 and race 3 because all these guys will almost certainly be in the thick of the midfield. So you've got to get the points on the board nice and early.
Yeah, and that's been important all the years that we've been covering the series, really, making sure that those points are banked in the first few races. You don't want to be chasing, you don't want to be trying to make up ground. Oh man, what a camera angle that was. See the speed of these cars. I mean, they're only doing, well, I say only, doing about 130 miles an hour, but it's like looked like they've been absolutely shot out of a cannon when they're going through there. Brilliant.
Well, Jack Sedgwick has a 34-point lead over Wojciech Savidovic. He doesn't want that getting any smaller going into Lake Com. He's got him at arm's length for now, but of course there is still 2/3 of a lap to go. It's getting close, isn't he?
He's pushing it. It is the last lap though, so if you're going to go for it, this is the time. Sutton's got through into 4th ahead of Simmons, so it's 1-2 for Apex Racing, 3-4 for CQR. It's important for them. Is Savidovic going to go for it? 5-time champion, reigning champion, number 1 driver on the car. What can he do? What can he do about Jack Sedgwick? Does he want to do anything about him? Or is he just going to be content with trying to start in front of him in the next race? Because that's what's going to happen if he does finish second. But we're into the final stages now, Adam, the last sector of the course.
Here we go through the Fania chicane. Good run there through by Wojciech, but he's a slightly compromised line for the second part of the chicane. Jack Sedgwick keeps the gap at 4/10 of a second going into Stavolo. Here's curve pull Frere. Wojciech Savidovic using all the track and then some. He may as well use up all those incidents because this is the final lap as they do so again there.
Wow. Now, big slipstream coming for Savidovic. And on board, this is the perfect place to see this battle. Who's going to take it then? Is he going to... He's going to go into the chicane, isn't he, if he's going to, Savidovic? Wonder if there's going to be a move here. I don't think he's close enough. I'm not sure he wants to, you know. No, he doesn't. The only time he'll take that win is if there's a mistake by Sedgwick. And it's not going to be the case because Jack Sedgwick is going to brilliantly win the first round of the season, the first one of 2020. Baker in 3rd.
Yeah, it's been an amazing final lap by Ash Sutton. He's managed to gain quite a few places to finish 4th. So it's Apex 1-2, CQR 3-4.
Yeah, good stuff there. Simmons in 5th, Foggy 6th, despite a couple of issues. Oh, look at this, speaking of issues. You've got Nella and Field and Berridge. Oh, Nella hitting the curb hard. Coming through the chicane now. I don't think he's going to get there. Oh, the other boosted car of Field tries to come through, but he can't get through. Kip Stevens is there as well. 27th for him.
It was pick a line through that final part of the bus stop chicane. Everybody didn't care what part of the track it was. They were just using every last bit of it. All those guys going through the final part of the bus stop chicane. Last few cars coming across the line now. 33rd place for Kyle Pokrewski in his first race in the ARL TCR.
Well, first, he was in before the break, I think.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah, of course, yeah. Apologies for that. Sorry,
Just
Kyle.
one round, I think he did, though.
The last one at Monza. Here is Colin Cunniff then. He's going to be the last car on the lead lap, and by the looks of things, he's going to be the last classified finisher too, because Hedgecock's out, Blackhall's out, Blake, Smith and Glatzel were all gone for quite some time. They were all involved in that mess on the Kemmel Straight. And here comes the XVR Sim Racing driver through the bus stop, not through the bus stop chicane, he's coming to that in a moment, through Blanchimont at around 200 or so kilometres an hour. Now he's coming up to the bus stop chicane where Wojciech Savidovic could have gone for the lead, but he just wasn't close enough to risk it between him and his teammate, a risk throwing away a 1-2. So here comes Colin Cunniff, then he's going to come across the line, a former winner in this series, he's won quite a lot in other disciplines too, and there he is over the line in 34th place.
Well, thankfully for him, not disqualified as we'd feared. So yeah, he manages to get to the end, which is good.
Race results up on your screen then. Jack Sedgwick wins and will extend his championship lead because of that win. Second for Wojciech Savidovic, half second behind you, stating the bleeding obvious. Dave Baker finishes in third with Ash Sutton in fourth. George Simmons in P5 with Nicole Foggy in sixth. Car 66 in P6. You've got a threat for your superstitious position, Dave Baker, there, I think. Dan Kraft in seventh, then Adam Hadfield eighth. Then it's Sim Sports Racing USA's Pete Harrod in ninth, and then Mark Woodhouse, the top Pro-Am driver, in the top 10. Miguel Freitas finishes 11th. Jason Cooper in 12th, Alex Simpson in 13th place in the end. A bit of an eventful first race of the evening there for Alex. Then Ross McFarlane in 14th, then the two teammates, Jamie Rushworth and Christian Rose. Then Ben Palmer, then David Von Breck, second highest AM driver in P18 there, did a good job. With 5 places gained as well. I've noticed on the overlay now that the positions stay where they finished. 19th for Pete Newman. 20th for Sam Fitzpatrick. 11 places gained. Get in, Sam. That's a good job.
Brilliant.
21st for Chris Wood. 22nd for Lars van Rijn. Then it's Lee Berridge for 15 places gained. Finish in 23rd. Almost the biggest mover in the field there, Lee Berridge. Luke Cooper, 24th. Then Alex Neller and his teammate Simon Field, 25th and 6th. Then 27th, Kip Stevens. Then Sean Gardner in 28th. 29th, for Adam McNally. And 30th for Andrew Whitehead, who had a few issues during the race there. He was off at Lake Com at one point. John Roberts, his teammate, in 31st. Then Scott Malcolm in 32nd. Carl Pokrewski in 33rd. And then Colin Cunniff. And then the cars that had issues during the race. These cars will be starting at the back of the grid for race 2, guaranteed. Adam Hedgecock, Jake Blackhall, Michael Blake, Paul Smith, Sven Glatzel, and Rich Warmingham, the first driver to finish last in 2020. So that is the end of the first race of the day, and now it's time to go to the reverse grid and find out who's going to be on pole position for race 2. The first time we get to do the reverse grid wheel as well in 2020, in a new decade as well.
Just quickly for Warmingham, 2020 plus 20 equals 40, and that's where he finished, 40th. Oh dear.
Oh.
Well, we can do math.
Hey.
It's a good job.
Yep. Also, this is good job as well. So let's spin it and see what we get. And, well, fortunately or unfortunately, it's not going to be a big reverse for the first time, so it is only 15.
That will go to Jamie Rushworth. Happy New Year, Sam, by the way. It's good to have you here. And on the reverse grid wheel, Jamie Rushworth will be even more pleased to see you because he's going to be put on pole position ahead of Ross McFarlane. He's got some got some ground to make up. Alex Simpson will be third, Jason Cooper fourth, and Miguel Freitas in fifth. So join us after the break here on the iRacing Esports Network as the ARL TCR Winter Series continues.
To the front bumper, and he hits him again now. Rayon Fowler into the outside wall.
He's gonna pass nearly 3 cars down that front straightaway, and he's gonna get them all done with. What amazing!
Lee to the inside goes Logan Cloudman is gonna touch in. Pit press, sideways, what a save!
Look to the outside as Cronkite goes off. De Jong into second place.
Going for the switchback. Oh, pinpoint driving.
It's Howling down to the inside.
Trying this contact though.
Slide left of the racetrack. Chris Renner drives it back down underneath, and he takes that second spot right back. Joker goes to Garrett Lowe.
Garrett Lowe should take victory with all that contact.
He's going to try and make the move around the outside the parabolica. That's not going to work, but he's going to try and get the cut back here. Get the run out the parabolica. That's beautifully done there. Michael Schumacher, there's a little bit of door banging as well.
Welcome back to the iRacing Esports Network and the Apex Racing League TCR Winter Series. We're at the Spa-Francorchamps circuit in Belgium to kick off 2020. Welcome everybody who's joining us here for the Showdown. Andrew Woodhouse, Adam Bath and Sam Kumo doing the cameras very well as usual. And Adam, the first round was great. We had a good battle at the front. We had some great action all up and down the field. And a fairly high number of finishes, really, as well. We only had 5 retirements, I think.
Yeah, not too many, and some of them were down to disqualifications as well. But I mean, that reinforces the fact that this Audi is still quite a strong car. As we came to find out, the things would go like tanks, really. But here's the grid for race 2. Jamie Rushworth starts on the pole, then a very, very small reverse grid as well. Then it's Ross McFarlane, Alex Simpson, then Jason Cooper, Miguel Freitas, and then Mark Woodhouse, Peter Harrod, Adam Hadfield, then Dan Kraft, Nico Foggy, George Simmons, Ash Sutton, Dave Baker, Wojciech Savidovic, and then 15th place is the race 1 winner, Jack Sedgwick.
Right then. This should be a good one. Rushworth on pole, former champion, looking to put one in the win column here. Here we go. 5 red lights then. Lights are off, the race is on. Terrible start by Rushworth, really bogged down. Got away very poorly. McFarlane into the lead. Simpson looking for second place. Into La Source they go. 3 into 1 nearly at the front, but Simpson looks like he's gone round the outside and should take second place down the hill.
Look at all the cars streaming through as I finally managed to work out to get sounds. But here's Jamie Rushworth. He's lost 2 places and he's going to be desperate to try and get them back as we go up through Eau Rouge and Radion. He's right on the back of Alex Simpson.
Yeah, I mean, oh, there's a crash. Crash at the bottom of the hill then.
Oh, no way, man. It's Scott Malcolm, Paul Smith, Rich Warmingham too. Not the best start for any of those guys.
No, crash on the Kemmel as well. It's Roberts. And Cunniff, is it?
Oh, one day something will go right for Boosted. I don't know what all they did at New Year, but their new year is not starting at all well. There's Karl Prokrefke. He's gained 2 places as a result of that. But did you have a good view of what happened? What took place on the Kemmel Straight? The camera didn't really show.
Not really. I just saw somebody losing it on the grass, spearing across the circuit, and collecting the car on the outside. So I'm sure we might be able to get a view of it at some point. Oh, there goes Pete Harrod.
Oh dear.
Sent backwards into Pouon then.
Well, he's managed to do a good spin turn and didn't hit anything, it doesn't look like. Now he's just got to make sure that he joins the track in a reasonably safe manner as he uses the majority of the runoff area at the exit of Pouon and comes on just wheel to wheel there with Luke Cooper.
Yeah, that's tough. That's very tough indeed.
Intrigued to know how that happened. He was literally facing the wrong way. Here we go, here's a replay. He's side by side with someone.
Was a good spin turn. Oh, I think he's just come across the front of the Automech.
Gonna work out who that could be. It might be Adam Hadfield. He was or Cooper. He was quite high up the order when that happened. I think Peter Harrod.
Yeah, tough one for him. Dropped down to 22nd place. It could have been a lot worse though.
Cars coming around to complete the first lap, then coming into the bus stop chicane, all line astern. There's a few cars going 2 wheel, 2 wide. Oh.
Simmons has been hit by Baker. I think he's going to give him it back. Yeah, he does. McFarlane sets the fastest lap then. Leads by 8 tenths. So going extremely well then for the V-Racer driver. Did not in race 1, of course.
Biggest gainers after the first lap is Sam Fitzpatrick's gained 1 place. We're looking at him here. He has got Lee Berridge for company. There's Jake Blackhall. He's gained 10 places. He's a man on a mission. He and Sven Glatzel have both gained the most amount of places out of anyone. As we look as the cars going through Radion. There is Sven Glatzel. He's the other car to gain 10 places after 1 lap.
Yeah, brilliant run there. Oh, round the outside for Rushworth. He hits Freitas. Oh, he's only just in front of him, look. Just a couple of inches. That could have been disaster.
Freitas coming back up the inside into Rivage. Rushworth.
Oh, he closes the door.
I'll take
Bang.
that. And it's not over. It is now, as Freitas goes through and Rushworth is trying to regain some sort of control on his car.
Yeah, he's sliding the car through Liège then. Just ahead of Cooper. Cooper would be daft to have a go into Pouon, and rightly so, does not.
All line astern going through here. The two Automet cars have got Nicole Foggy for company. He did well in race 1, and he's doing well here again in race 2 here. He's got Ash Sutton for company too, so Foggy is not going to be resting on his laurels because he knows the car behind will be itching to gain as many places as he can because
Right
so many
behind.
on in front of it.
Yeah, right behind Hadfield, look.
Yeah,
You can barely separate them. Less than a tenth of a second at one point.
invisible tow rope between the two of them, and look at 35. That is Jason Cooper. He's trying to get by Rushworth now.
What did Charlie Cox used to say? He's got the magnets on. And that is exactly what he's doing. Although Cooper is pressuring Jamie Rushworth. The former champ under duress then. The two Automet cars trying to fight against Nicole Foggy in the XVR. Oh, a little bit of nudgy.
Oh,
I think maybe Sutton might have just nudged Foggy. Incidentally, that may have got him past Adam Hadfield. Simpson sets the fastest lap then.
yeah, 2:34 dead. Quickest lap of the race so far, as you said. Not too many cars getting anywhere near that. That is their first representative time, of course, after lap 1. It is
He's
such
right
a long
there,
lap
look.
right here.
If you look at the battle for the lead, he is right there, Alex Simpson.
But this is going to be a tasty duel, I reckon.
Oh, yeah.
Alex
Two very
Simpson
quick and very clean drivers.
hasn't done the whole schedule as Alex, but Ross McFarlane has, and he's in a fight for the title. He's 21 points behind Sedgwick, and he wants to close that gap. And
Well,
one way you can do that is by winning.
this is where, as you very eloquently put it at the end of race 1. But yeah, so I mean, the one way Simpson can help his teammates out as well is by getting past McFarlane, and he can take some points off the V-Racer car. And well, reigning teams champions, of course, V-Racer, they really had a tremendous entry into the championship, haven't they, so far?
Really have. V-Racer have come on leaps and bounds in recent times. They ditched the orange for the blue, I believe, after winning the team's title in at the end of the BSRTC last season in 2019.
They must know that blue. They must know that shade of blue is a winning colour. Oh, blue is the colour. Racing is the game. And we'll see if Miguel Freitas can close in on this duo then. Scotland, England, Portugal, the top 3.
Multicultural there. And we also got Scotland there in 5th. Don't forget about them. And here is Nicole Foggy. There he is, the Scotsman in P5. 5 places gained for him as well.
Ooh, move by Savidovic, looking to try and get past Mark Woodhouse. And he might bring his friends with him.
Yeah, behind him, Jack Sedgwick and George Simmons. Oh, I think that counts as the door being very firmly shut by Mark Woodhouse.
Well, he needed to get in line, didn't he? Can't really go too wide through Blanchimont. He's late on the brakes. Going to keep that outside. Yeah, nicely done there. Very nicely done by Woodhouse. Great exit by Sedgwick, though. The very, very fastest drivers just seem to be able to nail the traction out of that chicane. Freitas' fastest lap by 0.6 of a second over the previous.
Oh
my goodness, that was close.
It's 63, V83, and it's Woodhouse v Simmons, and you can see that outside line works pretty well. So well that, in fact, George Simmons is now under threat from Dave Baker, who is where he started in P12. He's trying to change that as they go into Eau Rouge.
Yeah, the speed is blinding as they go through Eau Rouge then. Blackhall going a bit wide over the crest of the hill. Sorry, it's Newman. Sorry, not Blackhawk. Oh, we're going to have three wide action then. Down the Kemmel Straight. It's up the Kemmel Straight, really, isn't it? It is up a hill. Oh.
Oh.
Trying to come through then is Christian Rose, but he can't quite do it. Can't quite nick that 13th away from Simmons.
Oh, what a shot that was.
Sutton and Rushworth have changed positions as well.
Yeah, that's Sutton up into the top 5 now. Nicole Foggy has also moved up a place. That's Rushworth down 2 places. He's down to 6th after all that's shaken out. He's got the 2 Automet cars for company now.
The front 3 have broken away. If they're smart, they may try and preserve their spot on the podium by working together. 2.3 seconds is the gap.
Oh, Freitas is right with them now, isn't he?
Yeah, and if they do work together, then you would think all 3 of them could stay there. Because, of course, we know what's waiting for them at the end if they do. A little bit of the bubbly.
There's some left after
Oh, dear.
after the New Year's celebrations. Can't remember much of that.
And why have you not brought it here? Oh, well, never mind.
I've just been paid, so I could. Mikael Freitas coming into Vlogshimon then. Is he going to gate crash these two's current party as they go into the bus stop chicane?
That's whether my liver could handle it, to be honest. It's already on life support by the looks of it. As McFarlane, Simpson and Freitas going through the bus stop chicane then. Nothing stopping them at the moment, and nothing is stopping Jason Cooper and Jamie Rushworth's battle. Freitas with another fastest lap of the race. And bizarrely, the gap has come down to 2.1 seconds, despite Freitas being the one who sets the fastest lap. That's a quirky thing there.
It's officially the fastest lap, I think.
He was quicker than Foggy as well, but somehow Foggy got closer to him on that lap.
Freitas is looking to make waves here, and Alex Simpson hasn't had the best run on the exit of Radion, and this could play into the hands of Freitas.
Yeah, good move to the outside then. Simpson needs to be careful it doesn't Kobayashi in there.
And Alex Simpson could end up in the lead.
He's trying to go around the outside, he's trying over the lead. Oh, that is tremendous, really is.
I love that.
That is about as clean and effective as you can get. He seizes the opportunity, Alex Simpson. He goes into the lead.
Well, that Apex car must be pretty quick in a straight line, and that must be said, because it didn't look like Alex had the best run on the exit of Radion, but the Kemmel Straight, he juked out, so he ducked out from behind the toe and breezed past with a fantastic move around the outside of Ross McFarlane to take the lead with just under half the race to go.
All due respect to Ross McFarlane and Miguel Freitas, but I do have a big smile on my face after that. Tremendous move, and showing that Whisper It Quietly, one of the older men in the field, is one of the fastest.
Stefania Chicane, what do these guys have in response? Let's not forget Miguel Freitas was the quickest driver out of these 3 on the previous tour, and he might not want to let Alex get away, but he might be trying to get past Ross McFarlane. McFarlane has led the first half of this race, so he's no slouch in a straight line either, or through any of these corners as they go towards Blanchimont again.
It's now McFarlane that's in the awkward position of, do I attack the leader or not? Because Freitas is there and obviously doesn't want to lose out to him. And it looks like Nicole Foggy with this, he's got this mythical pace almost in the middle of a race, hasn't he? Where he just seems to, I don't know what they do with their tyres XVR, but he really just turns it on.
Oh yeah, sectors 2, 3 and 5, all purple by Foggy.
He just seems to do this in every race though, doesn't he? Gets to lap 4, lap 5, just puts in an absolute banger of a lap. This is going to be it could be low 32s this. It's high 32s, 32.9. 1 second quicker.
Good grief.
Than the leader. And Ash Sutton was also, and look at that, identical times.
That's incredible how they did that to the thousandths of a second.
Foggy has the fastest lap down to the 10,000ths.
Purple in sectors 2 and 3 on that previous tour. Sutton, purple in sector 4 as Here is the fight between Sedgwick and Hadfield. Sedgwick, championship leader, takes a lot of inside runoff area there. I don't think you get a slowdown penalty for that. I only think you get that if you take all 4 wheels off the circuit.
Yeah, I believe that is the case. Is it looking for the lead again? This is McFarlane now trying to get through, and that's another brilliant move into the comp. Wonderful stuff. Fighting back after the great move by Simpson on the previous lap. McFarlane showing he can do just as well. Brilliant stuff by the man who, like I say, spearheaded the charge in the team's championship last season.
Well, it was a cagey affair at the front of race 1, and that was between 2 teammates. Here we've got 5 cars, all separated by the best part of just over a second, all fighting for the race lead.
And 5 different teams. So the gloves will be well and truly off. There you see it on the graphic. V-Racer, Apex Racing Team, Team Mad, XVR Sim Racing and CQR all vying for the race to win. They'll be hoping as well that Mr. Kumo can give them another small reverse grid because, well, it's paid dividends for them this time, hasn't it?
Really has, as McFarlane uses all of the runoff area available to him on the exit of Fania Chicane. Now into Stavolo. When we get to the line, we'll have about 15.5 minutes of the race completed. You'd probably estimate that we'll have 2 laps to go then when we get to the line. Not too long for these guys to get some overtakes done. As we look at the top of the bridge, at least that's what I'm looking for anyways, we go underneath it and towards Blanchemont, one of the quickest parts of this circuit.
Yeah, and this is where you need the testes through here in order to get these moves done. But most drivers are very sensibly waiting for the bus stop chicane. Nico Foggy waits for no man. Flies up the inside on Miguel Freitas. Can the Team Mad driver hold him off? Can he do anything about it? I think Rushworth has cut the chicane. I think he's ended up having a slowdown penalty because he's gone across the bus stop. He must have missed his braking point.
Sutton up the inside of Freitas as well. So that's
Miguel.
Freitas within the space of 2 corners. Down to P6, and it's remarkable really because Foggy was on the outside. You'd think it'd be a disadvantage, but that outside line on the exit of the bus stop, it just allowed him to power through.
You can sometimes just work it quite well, can't you, through there? This is squeaky bum time now, it really is, at the front. Who's going to be brave enough to take the advantage? Freitas having a look on Sutton. He's going to try and go around the outside. I can barely get my words out. It's such a good battle. 5 drivers fighting it out. Some of the elite of this championship.
These guys have had a few weeks away for Christmas and New Year's. They're trying to get all the energy out of their system here. This is fantastic, and none of them have come to blows yet. Hopefully that remains the same because we're getting
there's a blow.
This is definitely
blew Freitas away.
Definitely the best battle of the season so far in this decade, that's for sure.
Oh yeah. That's it. Best battle for the lead so far. Exactly.
3-2 on then.
Ross McFarlane though, he really, in all seriousness though, for him, Adam, it's not really the best position to be in because he's got all these drivers behind. This has turned, have you seen this as well? This has turned into an 11-car train. It's all the way down to Joe Simmons now. There's now no gap.
If you get the track map up, you'll be able to see that as well. You can also see that from the intervals on the left-hand side of your screen. There you go. It's just a sea of dots on the track map there. And Ross McFarlane is one of the few drivers in this train that's got a championship fight to think about as well. Alex Simpson hasn't got to worry about that, and neither has Ash Sutton really. He's in 6th place. He's got to think about that a little bit.
Well, Sutton is in this showdown, isn't he? But he was at the bottom of the table for a while, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think the onus here is really on Alex Simpson. He's got nothing to lose, so he has got. He can throw everything at this as we come round to get what looks to be the final lap of the race.
Bit too far back here to make a challenge. Foggy's never too far back for anything, really, is he? Because look at that. He and Ash Sutton, it's a battle that we've not really seen that often, isn't it, Adam? But we want to see more of it in 2020. It's like we're getting the wish.
Well, these two set identical fastest laps of the race on the last lap, and they're pretty inseparable here as we do get
evenly matched.
The white flag. 1 lap to go then. And we don't want this to end. What a shame that this is the final lap of the race.
Yeah, what a tremendous race it is. And seriously, anybody in the top 10 or 11 could win this because you never know what might happen. I think Rushworth might be a little bit... No, I don't know. He's still sort of there. This is on board with Sutton. He's in P3 and he's stalking Alex Simpson. Simpson stalking McFarlane. Simpson's got it down to 0.2 of a second. Into the brake area. He's got a bit of overspeed. I don't think he's going to be able to try it. He has a look on the inside briefly, but Ash Sutton, the 2017 British Touring Car Champion, is biding his time.
Oh no.
That's a problem for Newman then. Not a happy last lap for him.
Well, Alex Simpson couldn't get by on pure straight line speed alone. He's going to have to get crafty now in the final half a lap if he wants to get the win.
It's going to be good.
That's Jack Sedgwick in the background too, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. He's having a look into poo on. Be careful. Oh, Jamie Rushworth. I tell you what, if there's somebody you want to race against in this sort of battle, it's him. He knows exactly where this car's going to be. Maybe a slight tap there, but probably fair enough.
He is a rock star, and this is proper rock and roll racing here.
Who's going to be top of the charts then at the end? Ross McFarlane's been there, well, since the middle of the race, really. Simpson's got a good run. Simpson's got a very good run now. McFarlane's just holding that inside, isn't he? So he can't get a run. Ross McFarlane then for V-Racer. There's battles going on in the background. We'll have to look at those in a bit. Nicole Foggy's going around the outside of Ash Sutton. He can't get it done. Sutton's trying to go around the outside of Simpson. But it's going to be Ross McFarlane and it's going to come to the line. And he's going to take the win here at Spa. Race 2 goes to him. Simpson in second, Sutton in third. Freitas just hangs on by 0.03 of a second over Foggy.
Oh, you're not entertained? What a race that was. Mark Woodhouse takes the Pro-Am honours. Drag race to the line here. It's going to be Lars van Ryn just ahead of Lee Berridge. Followed up by Luke Cooper there too, and Kip Stevens. Here is a fight for 35th. You never know, this could be important in terms of the reverse grid pole. Simon Fields trying to keep Scott Malcolm at bay. Ireland v Scotland going into the bus stop chicane.
Malcolm looks like he's got some pace at the end of this race, but not quite getting close enough to Field then. Field comes across and he takes that 35th place. John Roberts and Sean Gardner are still going after Roberts had that crash on lap 1.
This team have been really unfortunate tonight. Hopefully we can give them some crumb of comfort with a good reverse grid as Roberts comes over the line to finish 37th. We're just waiting for his colleague here, and it's Sean Gardner who's just going through Stavilo now.
He wasn't involved in the same accident, was he?
Might have
been, you know.
It was one of the few booster cars. Gardner has lost 15 places. But here he is. A bit of airtime for Boosted here as he comes through a Blanchimont all by himself. What kind of speed is he getting up to around here? He's getting speeds of over 236 kilometers an hour here. He gets on the brakes. I might be wrong actually. No, he said down to 60. I was looking at his top speed rather than his current speed as he comes through the final corner, and he's going to come across the line and finish in P38. Only 2 retirees it looks like in this one as well.
Yeah, which is great to see. That's like Kauper Krefke and Adam Hedgecock are the only ones who bit the dust in that one. And yeah, the night is flying along tonight.
Finishing order then from race 2. 1 race to go, plus another reverse grid draw. Ross McFarlane gets his win. And with Jack Sedgwick finishing in 6th, that closes the championship fight up a little bit. Alex Simpson's not too worried about that, but he will be happy with a 2nd place. Ash Sutton, who is pretty much still in the championship fight. There is still a long way to go, of course, and in the ARL TCR 60 points really isn't anything at all. Miguel Freitas finishes in 4th, Nicole Foggy in 5th. Freitas doing a good job to get by the XVR Sim Racing car in the closing stages. Jack Sedgwick had a brilliant last lap to get up to 6th. Then Jamie Rushworth in 7th, Wojciech Svidovic in 8th, just 2 tenths ahead of Jason Cooper. Then 9th, then 10th is George Simmons. Then Adam Hadfield 11th, 12th for Mark Woodhouse, takes the Pro-Am honours for the second time tonight. Then Christian Rose, Dave Baker in 14th, one of Jack Sedgwick's nearest challengers there. Then Ben Palmer, his teammate Dan Kraft in 16th. Then Chris Wood, then David Von Breck, 2 18th place finishes in a row there. Then Pete Harrod 19th, 20th for Jake Blackhall, the Aussie. Sam Fitzpatrick in 21st. Then Sven Glatzel in P22. Then it's Pete Newman, Alex Nella. Then his teammate Lars van Rijn, just a tenth of a second ahead of Lee Berridge. Then Luke Cooper. Kip Stevens there in 28th. Paul Smith retired in race 1, but managed to get up to 29th here in race 2. Rich Warmingham in 30th. Adam McNally in 31st. Michael Blake in 32nd. Colin Cunniff there in 33rd. Then Andrew Whitehead, Simon Field, Scott Malcolm there in 36th. The odd one out, really. The bottom 5 there in that table were all boosted cars, including Roberts and Gardner. And then the 2 cars that were out very early on. Carl Bukrefsky, 7 laps down, and I don't even think Adam Hedgecock took the start. So he finished at the back in 40th.
All right, well, what a race. What a race that was. And we're going to see who's going to be on pole for the third one then, as Sam's got the reverse grid wheel at the ready. And yeah, Sam, I mean, can we follow that one? It'll be hard to.
I think we have something here with the wheel. So final time for tonight, and I think Alex would want to do some bit more overtaking, so let's get him a big one. Well, it's a little bit bigger, it's 30.
30. It's going to be Richard Warmingham. So, well, finishing last in the first race, it's kind of come back round for him a little bit. Decent race for him last time. And yeah, he's going to be starting on the pole this time, Adam, and we'll be looking to try and stay there.
Yeah, watch out for a few of these guys here. Real good opportunity for Warmingham, for Smith, Stevens, and a few of the Indies as well in Luke Cooper and Lee Berridge and the boosted SimSport team too. So a real opportunity for a potentially surprise victory here. So we'll have to see what happens in race 3 in a moment.
All right, then. So we'll hope you'll return after the break for race 3 of the evening in the ARL TCR Winter Series. We'll be back on the iRacing Esports Network after the break.
with what amazing
Lee to the inside goes Logan Cloudman is going to touch in. Pit press sideways. What a save!
Look to the outside as Tronke goes off. De Jong into second place.
going for the switchback. Oh, pinpoint driving.
It's howling down to the inside.
I tried, there's contact though.
Slide left to the racetrack. Chris Renner drives it back down underneath, and he takes that second spot right back. Joker goes to Garrett Lowe.
Garrett Lowe should take victory with all that contact. He's going to try and make the move around the upset the parabolica. That's not going to work, but he's going to try and get the cutback here. Get the run out the parabolica. That's beautifully done there. Michael Schumacher, there's a little bit of door banging as well.
Welcome back to Spa for round 3 of the evening here on Apex on the iRacing Esports Network. There we go. That's the first one of the decade. Andrew Woodhouse, Adam Bath, and Sam Kumo providing you the coverage for Apex Racing TV on the iRacing Esports Network. There we go. Second, Spa Francorchamps has provided some great racing tonight. Race 2 was an absolute cracker. If you saw it, well, congratulations to you because you've seen one of the best races you'll probably see all year. And if not, well, Adam, we've got one served up right for you now with a big reverse grid.
Well,
All right,
so-
well, no.
Oh yeah, I am here. Sorry.
We thought he'd fallen down a hole then for a second. Rich Warming was going to be on pole anyway. Paul Smith's going to be in P2. Kip Stevens in 3rd. Luke Cooper in 4th.
Can take you through the grid. Right, here we go. Starting on pole position then is Richard Warmingham. 2nd is Paul Smith. Then it's Kip Stevens, Luke Cooper, Lee Berridge, then Lars van Ryn, Alex Snella, then Pete Newman, Sven Glatzel, Sam Fitzpatrick, rounding out the top 10. And then it's the rest of the grid. Cycles through your screen. You'll see that we've got Wojciech Savinovic there in 23rd, then Rushworth 24th, amongst others. Here we go.
Here we go then. The lights are on. What can Warmingham do off the pole? Lights are off for away. Good start by... I think that's Cooper up the middle, isn't it? Warmingham leads the way then. Smith maintains 2nd place. How does it look, Adam? It looks fairly clean coming through La Source, doesn't it?
Just about, yeah, everybody jockeying for position, but it's very tight there as we look at Miguel Freitas. Wow, that was very close.
There is not a lot of track there. I'll tell you that.
Gone are the days. Remember when we used to start before we went into Eau Rouge and the cold weather and the cold tyres would send the keys flying everywhere?
Oh, it was an absolute disaster. Coming into there and over the top of Radio. Paul Smith going for the lead then. He's edged in front on the timing screen. Oh, what a move!
Ah.
Seen that one work a few times today.
Oh, cars everywhere.
Oh, it's a carambolage then. Out Le Com. Big accident.
So
5 or 6 cars involved at least.
Yeah, we should get away without a safety car, fortunately.
Jack Sedgwick's down there.
Oh no, championship leader in deep trouble. There he is.
There's more nonsense at Rivage.
That is Christian Rose. I haven't really seen him at all tonight. That's a real shame for him, though. He's down there in 34th.
Yeah, I wonder. We'll see if we can get a replay at the end of the lap, possibly on that one. What happened at Le Com? Paul Smith took the lead with a great move down the outside of Richard Warmingham. But we've seen the XVR car, and we said this in every race so far. Seems to pick up the pace in the middle of the race, so we'll see what Warmingham can do. If he can hang on for 2 or 3 laps, his tyres should come to him a bit later.
It's going to be a really intriguing battle, isn't it? Yeah, Richard Warmingham, he started the night at the back of the field, had a solid race too, was benefited by the reverse grid, and now here he is in P2. After starting on the pole, he has lost that place to Paul Smith after a brilliant move by the Yorkshireman around the outside of Le Com. And now what can Paul Smith do about keeping him at bay? Automech as well in 3rd and 4th. There's Luke Cooper. And Kip Stevens, the 2-time champion, behind him as well. And we've got boosted cars as well in the top 10.
Yeah, Van Ryn's in there. Lee Berridge is just behind Van Ryn in P6. It goes a bit wide, does Lee Berridge. It's a move made by Dan Kraft. He's just got past Alex Neller. Oh, Neller's trying to move across. He's trying to stop Ben Palmer from making it 2. Palmer doesn't. Baker smelling blood as well, looking for the inside. Wojciech Savinovic knows that he can make some points up here. Most drivers getting through the hairpin okay.
And lap 1 then, it's Smith leading, Warmingham 2nd, Cooper 3rd, Stevens 4th, Van Ryn in 5th, then it's Berridge, Von Breck, Glatzel, Kraft up 6 places and Palmer up another one as here come the field fanning out again down the Kemmel Straight.
Wojciech Savinovic then trying to make a move on David Baker. That's Baker trying to complete the move on Svidovic. They actually make contact. They hit the braking area for Lecomte. Warmingham leads the way then. He's taking the lead back from Paul Smith. Smith nudges him. He's going to the inside. Warmingham closes the door. And it's quite an easy corner to close the door on, isn't it, really? Because, like I said, there is only one line through. And that is Adam McNally in the grass. Just after Lecomte. Not quite sure what's happened to Excite Racing Man.
Oh, hello. What's happened here? Ross McFarlane having a bit of contact with somebody.
Yeah, what's happened to...
He's one of Jack Sedgwick's main championship threats, but fortunately he's been able to carry on. Looking here at Michael Blake, who is just behind Mark Woodhouse. This is a fight for Pro-Am honour at stake here as well.
Car number 44, hashtag blessed. Got the best fans here, apparently. Now, Woodhouse and Simpson trying to chase down Hadfield. Hadfield's been quick so far. Been up and around that top 10 battle pretty much every race so far. Warmingham still leads. He needs to try and get rid of Smith, but it's not going to be super easy to do that. Still haven't quite finished lap 1. This is how long the lap is round here.
I'm sure we've done a lap already.
No, we've done 2 laps. The lap counter stuck on lap 1. Sorry. I thought we'd done a lap already. I must admit, I was just looking at the... Stupid. I was just looking at the thing and it said lap 1.
I don't know. I'm not too sure what to make of that. Over the line we go.
With the lap counter. Oh! Svidovic and... Svidovic! Into the wall. Oh! Svidovic and Ash Sutton, I think. Quarter panel happening.
Lap counter's decided to now update itself. It is on lap 3, but fortunately for Wojciech, even though he did get spun off there, he's been able to carry on without too much damage. As here is a man who's always on the move, and here he is gaining another place. It's Ash Sutton getting past Alex Sneller up into 14th.
Bit of a tank is the Audi, isn't it? Hit the wall and tis but a scratch, but... Oh, look at this. George Simmons and David Van Broek.
Scrap for the leaders at stake as well. Warmingham has just overtaken Paul Smith, I think.
I think that was just a... Oh, that's Smith making the move, bit of contact. Oh, look at that. No quarter given in this battle.
Oh, Warmingham.
Look at Luke Cooper as well. Look how close he is.
Everything's at stake here. Paul Smith closing right back up to the rear of the XTR Sim Racing car here. The Yorkshireman, even though he has been passed for the lead, is by no stretch of the imagination out of this one just yet as they go into P1.
Looks like Smith's got the pace in the corners here. But he can't break away once he takes the lead. Cooper's watching and waiting. He's going to see if anybody makes a mistake to capitalise. Oh, he's gone a bit wide. Still manages to rejoin the racing line, that is, in third. Kip Stevens and Lars Van Rijn then, not too far behind. 4 AM drivers in the top 5. Strong showing so far. Long way to go, though. We've seen it, haven't we, Adam? We've seen big packs of cars end up swallowing up other trains. We saw it in race 2.
Looking here at Lars Van Rijn trying to get by Kip Stevens as well. It's Automech in positions 3 and 4, but the boosted SimSport car trying to stop just that as they go through one of the quickest corners on the circuit. Bus stop chicane looming large again. The flick right and left and back onto the front straights. Look at this. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars all within better attempts of each other.
That's Harrod defending hard from George Simmons. Lee Berridge is there as well. Looks like Nella might have got a bad run out of the corner. Baker sets the fastest lap. 2:33.0. In fact, Alex Simpson just sets the fastest lap now. A fresh one. 2:32.9. Only man in the 2:32s. Harrod now trying to go around the outside of George Simmons. Proving troublesome to get past for Harrod.
Go. Pete Harrod right up to the bumper of George Simmons. He is literally pushing him down that short straight into Eau Rouge and Radion. Over the top they go, almost flat out. And Rich Warmingham is under pressure from Paul Smith again. The timing shows the gap at 0.
Oh, there goes Smith. Into the lead.
There you go.
I think they need to start trying to work together here, you know. I don't know how you would do that, really, because the chasing pack is so quick.
The top 9 are covered by just 3.5 seconds.
Oh, on the inside. Glatzel. Oh, he was having a little look on Van Ryn into the hairpin. That Rivage. Not quite.
Fastest. Oh, 4 cars are all being shown as crashed on my screen. Not sure why. Fastest lap of the.
That's because they have, I think, isn't it? Cunniff. Again, Colin Cunniff.
Well, if my time's correct, that is Woodhousenella.
Oh, he's lost it.
Oh,
he's all right, but he's going to lose a place.
Svidovic, Blake, Hedgecock, Gardner, Field, and Sedgwick all apparently crashed at that one moment in time.
Sedgwick was quite a way down. I wonder if it's just running wide somewhere, but.
Well.
Oh, wow, this is the battle you were talking about, though.
Yeah, Jack Sedgwick in the thick of the action. He's on the comeback trail, and he's going to go the side of. I'm going to say that was off.
Oh, that's a crash, and that's Simmons and Berridge. Oh, and again.
Okay. Reverse. Can't get away.
What's happened?
Fortunately for them, I don't think the gravel trap will stop them. I think that is the exit into Stavolo. Yes, it is. Here we go. Here's a replay.
So Simmons checks up, I guess.
Oh, he's on the grass. Oh, he's on the. Oh.
Well, about 10 things have happened there, haven't they? So the CQR car in front was very slow. Berridge came flying in at speed. The guy behind him hit him.
But he hit me. That's what they'll be saying in the stewards.
That was a tough one. I think they all hit each other, didn't they? Baker's on the outside of this 3-wide battle after just setting the fastest lap of the race on a 2:32.8.
Times are tumbling. It's because it's the end of the day as well. We've got the cooler conditions for the third race. You can see the sun is pretty low in the sky. Definitely is the sun going up through Eau Rouge and Radion.
Yeah, I wonder how dark it's going to get by the end of this one.
Coming up to 8 o'clock at night here in Spa on a May evening.
Here we go. And Glatzel has got past Kip Stevens, so that's important for him. Passed each other a few different times, actually, over that last lap.
So
Simpson's got ahead of Foggy, that's for P12.
So that's just 3 cars now in between St. Glatzel and Paul Smith, the race leader. And Glatzel's been looking mighty quick so far, but catching is one thing, passing is another, as they say. And Kip Stevens is trying to keep up with him, and also Rich Warmingham trying to get past Paul Smith into Pouon. Was he there? He thought better of it. This battle is toing and throwing from between both of these guys. 1 minute, Paul Smith's in second. He's looking like he's trying to get by and was able to do so. And now Rich Warmingham is his turn to start applying the pressure. But so far, the Yorkshireman is soaking up the pressure well here as they go for the Fanion chicane.
Yeah, he's not doing bad, is he, really? Because it's quite an easy track to make a mistake and be vulnerable on. I think he's going to be vulnerable into the bus stop. But he's weathered that XVR storm, hasn't he, it seems? He's weathered that part of the race where their tyres seem to... Oh, what's this? This is Wojciech Svidovic. He's crabbing, I think. Has he got steering damage?
Hard to tell from this onboard shot. Let's have a look when it goes on to this short straight towards... Not too bad, does it? I think he's just turning right as part of the... Looks like for the most part...
It might be all right. He just looked a bit weird when it came back on. That. I think I've made that mistake a few times with this car.
St. Glatzel is right on the back.
Oh, he's not quick, though. Oh.
No. Oh, but he's got Gardner for company. So in fact, Sam Fitzpatrick wouldn't mind rubbing door handles with the reigning champion, I'm sure.
Well, Sean Gardner won a couple of races on Sunday nights when we were racing this season, so he's no slouch at all. Might be in 26th place, but can be a top driver on his day. Oh, a bit of contact at the hairpin. It's a bit of a love tap, I think, more than anything.
Right, midway, just over past the midway point of the race. Here come the leaders again. Paul Smith trying to keep Rich Warmingham at bay. Smith is very good at braking late, and that is what
That's
keeps him ahead
excellent.
of Warmingham there.
Yeah, very good, isn't it? Just braking at the perfect spot. He's not allowing that outside move. The outside move's been very successful, hasn't it, so far tonight?
The last time I saw Paul Smith this high up the field was at Donington, and we know how that ended.
Well, that's it.
Hoping not to curse him this time, but right now he's doing a very good job. It's a Pro-Am 1-2 as well. You can tell that by the blue on the timing tower, also by the little shade on the windscreen strip. You can see if it's blue Pro-Am, if it's in red, they're fighting for the Pro Category 2.
What a great way to start 2020, though, with a ARL TCR meeting that has actually been one of the best meetings we've had in a long time. I think it's been tremendous so far.
Don't forget, it's on every Thursday night on the iRacing Esports Network as well. That next week we head to Belle Isle in Detroit. That's going to be interesting.
Yeah, Detroit, Michigan is going to roar with the sound of the Audi RS3. That's going to be a good one. I mean, I raced there in the Kia Optima the first year that was out, and it was a tough meeting. It was a fun one, but a difficult one. So I know that the challenge that these drivers will that they'll have a big challenge.
Oh, definitely. I think we had a few big wrecks there as well on that occasion. A few cars rolling from memory.
By the way, a great second half of the race by Jack Sedgwick. He was down in 35th place or thereabouts. He's made up 16 positions since to get up into 19th, and he's bringing this pack with him that includes Ross McFarlane and Wojciech Svidovic.
Yeah, you got and Ross McFarlane in there too. In terms of the championship,
Indeed,
Sedgwick is just ahead of McFarlane. So, dive bomb up the inside. That is Michael Blake, and he managed to stop it pretty well, to be fair. Now he's got this. Now he's got to try to put the power down on the exit, and he could be swamped from directions. Wow, there's the apex card there of Wojciech. Sensibly gets on the anchors to stop a big one there.
I know they've widened the exit of La Source over the years since the Coulthard crash, but they haven't really widened a bit further down. Sometimes you still see cars going very, very close together down there. Multiple cars getting close. Svidovic having a think about the move up the inside. I wonder if he does have some damage though, because he's not going quickly at the moment, Wojciech Svidovic. Adam Hedgecock's in there as well. Sam Fitzpatrick just making a move on Sean Gardner.
Not been the best of race threes for Sam Fitzpatrick, but he has had two good races up to that point.
The lead battle looks close. 4 cars, 1 second. And just behind them, in fact, is David Baker, who's joined onto this one.
Dave Baker, 12 places gained. Biggest mover in the field is, no surprise to see, Ash Sutton. He's gained 18. Alex Simpson's gained 17 places as well. So he's pretty much been following the former BCCC champion through the field. Has got a drive sorted for 2020 as well, by the way.
Sutton and Simpson very close together. Sorry, Adam, I was going to say, like they must have started closely in close proximity to each other as well.
Well, there he is. And there's Lance Van Ryn, who's got Alex Simpson for company on the exit of Curve Paul Frere.
And there's Foggy as well. Simpson overtook him a few laps ago, but Foggy hanging in nicely. And he wants that top 10. He wants to see if he can just squeak in there. Smith still leads, though. Continues with just 1 lap to go. This stoic defence. It's been tested at every opportunity.
And that was Cooper going wide, and that's going to be Glatzel.
They're going to be 3 abreast here, Adam, coming down the main straight.
I don't think Richard
Glatzel wisely backs out.
I was going to say, I don't think Richard Warming.
The inside! The collision. That's Palmer going into the corner of Luke Cooper's car. And that might have just set the top 2 away. They might be clear.
It's music to Dave Baker's ears. I was just going to say that I think 3 wide are the best words, 2 words that Richard Warmingham and Paul Smith have heard today because...
Oh, he's been... Jeez.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was just looking at Cooper over the top of the hill. Sorry, mate, you were saying.
No worries. Here comes Warmingham, though. This is his last chance to get by Paul Smith in a straight-out drag race, and he's going to try. It's all going to be about the last man on the brakes, and it's going to be Warmingham on the outside.
Oh, can he do it? Can Smith hold it off?
He's
on
still
the inside. Warmingham with a brilliant attempt on the final lap. And he's done it. He's cleared him. He has cleared the Team Mad car. The Smart Time Immortal car, sorry. Beg your pardon, but part of the Team Mad stable. And how stable is Paul Smith's emotions at the minute? Because he's got maybe one more try.
Well,
he can't let David Baker influence his mindset going into this last sector. He needs to focus on Warmingham, and likewise, Warmingham needs to focus. He needs to put his eyes forward, really, because if he nails Fanyes, if he nails Stavolo, he might be home and dry, but we'll see.
Well, if you cast your mind back to race 1, it was Sedgwick versus Wojciech Savidovic going into the bus stop chicane. No move was made there. Paul Smith's going to have a pretty mighty 2 corners here, plus he'll have the toe as well, so this is by no means over.
Dave Baker is there, though. He's won a title before. Luke Cooper almost going into the barrier. He's taking that track limit to its extremes. Here we go then. Warmingham versus Smith versus Baker for the win. What's it going to be? Through Blanchimont. Which way is Smith going to go? Where can he go? He's going to go to the outside. It's going to have to be a big lunge here. He's going all the way around. He's trying to drift it round. He can't do it. He can't do it. Oh, he's into Baker now. Richard Warmingham from pole position. He wins it. Smith going to lose the podium. No, he doesn't. He's super close. Smith and Cooper, 0.02 of a second apart. Oh, Smith went for it all. He went for all the marbles, didn't he? And he very nearly lost the podium, but third, he's going to be delighted.
Well, he went for all the bubbly there.
Oh, bubbly! Bit of bobbly there. McNally and Berridge bouncing, bobbling over the sausage curbs.
It's McNally that takes 34th, Berridge there in 35th place. Lee Berridge, there he goes over the line. We're just waiting for a few more cars to trundle over. Oh, somebody flying past there.
Well, Richard Warmingham, brilliant win for him. Dave Baker showing on the last lap why he used to be Le Champion in second place. 15 places gained from Baker. Brilliant, brilliant stuff. Paul Smith tried round the outside, didn't he? But just could not quite get it done. Did the best he could. I will say that Warmingham's defence through Blanchimont was brilliant, Adam, because he let Smith get close enough where he couldn't really get a run, where Warmingham could sort of just park his car on the exit, and he couldn't really go left or he couldn't go right, not for a while.
And yeah, that final complex of corners, Paulie went to the outside going into the bus stop. It was going to be interesting to see if that works out. He did try everything, but a great display by all those guys. And Dave Baker, that is with Sedgwick and McFarlane only just inside the top 18. That is some much needed points gained for the CQR driver, who's had a pretty good evening, I must admit. So let's run you through the finishing order from the final race of the evening. What a great way to start 2020. And we go to a street circuit next week as well. And it's the penultimate round of the season next week. So battle lines will be very much drawn after we leave Belle Isle in this time next week. Rich Warmingham then, he wins. A Pro-Am driver wins a race too. Dave Baker finishes in second. Then Paul Smith just about hangs on to the podium. He was able to do it by just over 100th of a second. Luke Cooper finishes in fourth. Very nearly some bubbly for him. Ben Palmer in fifth, Kraft in sixth, then Glatzel the German. He could have been in with a shout of maybe even taking a win until the start of the final lap where he got nudged out of the way. Pete Howard finishes in 8th, Ash Sutton in 9th, gained all those places, of course, gained 19 places to get up there. So too did Alex Simpson, he finished in 10th. Nicole Foggy in 11th, set the fastest lap of the race at 1 point. I think he managed to keep that as well. Kip Stevens in 12th, third highest AM driver, then Lars Van Ryn, then Jimmy Rushworth. Mark Woodhouse there in 15th, then Adam Hadfield. David Van Breck, the Belgian, finishes 18th, 18th and 17th today. And Jack Sedgwick in 18th, Miguel Freitas 19th, and Ross McFarlane in 20th place. 21st for Wojciech Savilovic, he reckoned he was nursing some damage, potentially. He finished 4 seconds behind Ross McFarlane in the end, so I wouldn't be too surprised. Then it was Christian Rose in 22nd, Alex Sneller, then Michael Blake, then Adam Hedgecock with Sam Fitzpatrick behind him. Sean Gardner in 27th, 28th for Jason Cooper, then 29th for Scott Malcolm with Colin Cunniff there in 30th, 2 Scotsmen there. John Roberts in 31st, 32nd for George Simmons, then the Irishman Simon Field in 33rd, then Adam McNally, Lee Berridge, Kyle Bukrefke, Chris Wood, Andrew Whitehead, and then the cars that didn't finish the race. Jake Blackhall, not what he would have wanted. I think he might have been one of the cars off at Les Comps. And his teammate joined him on the sideline. It was Pete Newman, who also finished at the back. He finished in 40th.
All right, well, I'm still trying to catch my breath. My voice is still trying to come back from the end of that one. Tremendous action all night here in the ARL TCR Winter Series. We've absolutely loved that one so far. And I think we'll bring in a man who, well, he very nearly got it all at the end there. Dave Baker joins us in the commentary box. Dave, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Happy New Year, fellas.
Oh, I knew you too.
Happy New Year, mate. I tell you, Paul went for it all there, and you were just able to nick another position at the end.
Yeah, I got lucky. He slid just a little bit, and I managed to just kind of squeeze around the outside of him. But I knew he and Richard were going to try and battle going into that final chicane, because obviously he'd got him on the Kemmel straight. So I was trying my best. But yeah, second's a cracking result for that. I think we had some really good pace in the car tonight, which we've not always had this season. So
yeah, it looks strong, especially in race 1. And this circuit's always a terrific one, isn't it? But it seemed like it was this car made for some very good sort of pack racing tonight.
Yeah, if there's one thing this car is good for, whether you see it on the broadcast you guys do or any of the others on the iRacing service, it's good for pack racing. Really tests the driver's wits and racecraft, which you don't often always see in some series. So yeah, it was nice. It was good fun tonight.
Oh, we're just seeing the replay of that accident in Les Comps. It was Chris Wood.
Yeah, I think he went a little bit to the inside and maybe hit the grass or something like that, didn't he? I think I was just behind that when it happened.
Absolutely shot off to the right-hand side.
Yeah, it's unlucky. It's not a mistake that Chris usually makes. He's normally a very good, very aware driver. So, yeah, unfortunate accident. I'm sure the stewards will look into it.
We know that it's tough to see sometimes going into that corner when you've got a lot of cars in front of you. Do you think that could contribute, especially with the sun being quite low?
Quite possibly. First lap as well, so you're all that little bit more bunched up, tyres quite cold, easy to misjudge.
Well, Dave, I tell you what, there's usually not a better way to see in the new year than with a little bit of the bubbly.
Indeed.
It's a bit a week later than maybe it could have been, but yeah, you'll be happy with that surely going into the rest of the showdown.
Yeah, I'm just happy that I had a good race, and was able to have a bit of pace up there in qualifying. And where I end up in the showdown, who knows? It can be a bit of a lottery, one incident, and that can be it, in a sense. So I just take the good races when they come.
Indeed. Adam, anything for Dave?
Belle Isle next week, Dave. The tough challenges keep on coming. It's the penultimate round as well.
Yeah, that's going to be very interesting. I've raced there quite a few times recently in various different cars, from kind of HPDs and sort of GTEs and Dallara IndyCar and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, Kia, it's a very technical track with no room for error because of the walls. It's as close to Monaco as we're going to get for a while, I think. And there's going to be an incident where the track gets blocked, and I just hope that everybody has their wits about them, really.
We have our safety car button at the ready as well. We need to make sure we got that ready to intervene too.
I'm just going to quickly say before we let you go, I mean, I was in that first BSRTC race at Belle Isle, and that was pretty tough going out there. So yeah, it's going to be interesting in this new car to see how it goes.
Look, I say, I'm sure there'll be incidents. Overall, I'm I'm quietly confident. As I say, I recently raced around there with HPDs and LMP1 cars and all that sort of stuff, and we didn't have that many problems because there was give and take. And I think that's what it's going to require from the drivers. Recognise that they're in the showdown and maybe fighting for every position. Think bigger picture here.
Just like on this circuit, I guess it's very similar indeed.
Exactly.
Just want to give a shout out to the sponsors and everybody, mate. Do the usual, really, by now.
Yeah, the usual to all the boys at CQR, who turn up and race in our various different guises, whether it be CQR, Sim Sports Racing USA, or the Knight Rider design team and stuff like that. You guys for obviously doing the broadcast and running the series as you do. Everybody who's watching and tuned in, give it a like, subscribe to the channel for hopefully more good races like this.
There you go. Give it a smash. Give it a smash on that like button. Do it. Dave, always a pleasure, mate. Like I say, Happy New Year. Hopefully this year's brings you a lot of good fortune, mate.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Anyway, I'll let you go on and interview Alex now.
Nice one. Take care.
Catch you in a bit.
Alright. Next up is the one and only Alex Simpson.
Hello, chaps.
Hello.
Hello there.
Right, where do we begin? So start of the evening, Alex. Good to have you back as well. And look like you lost none of the pace at all. You were right up there after qualifying.
Yeah, it was a fun evening. Car felt good. Like you say, it was nice to be back. I think it helps here. Obviously, we did Neo round here a little while back, so pretty used to the circuit. Spa's always a fun one to race, of course, and yeah, it's 3 good results. Can't really say much more than that. Just pace. Like I say, pace for the whole team was good tonight as well. So really delighted with the first race in terms of the points that they scored. So hopefully that should be good for the team championship as well. I'm not so sure on the final race. I think a few of the guys certainly got in incidents, so that'll be interesting. I'm just eagerly waiting for the point sheet to update.
I'm just seeing on the replay here, you're getting past one of your teammates. Oh, you had to start out of the way of Wojciech there. On down the front straight. You and Ash Sutton, you blazed a trail through the field to get towards the front, a top 10 in the final race, and you managed to gain 19 positions too.
Yeah, I mean, in fairness, I think a lot of that, some people obviously were making mistakes and made it a little bit easier. But yeah, there were still some good battles. Almost a rinse and repeat of the McFarlane overtake on Foggy in race 3, which was fun. I think he got tied up with somebody else straight after that. But yeah, no. So Spa's one of those circuits where you get a long run. You can have some good overtakes and stuff like that. And I think it makes it a really fun evening, much like sort of Watkins.
I know you because you missed a few rounds. You're not in direct competition for the title, but Belle Isle next week and the final race meeting as well. Are you going to be trying your best to help your teammates out in any way?
Yeah, the priority is the team. I will do whatever I can to help them, if that means hold up some people behind, or sort of try and go for that race 2 really good result so we get as maximum points in the teams championship and things like that. We'll do that. That's something that you can do when you're not in the showdown, isn't it? So yeah, I was a bit gutted to miss it. I think, like you say, I missed 2 weeks, and I think I missed out by 2 points in the end. So I was kicking myself.
Belle Isle next week. There's probably going to be a bit of a kicking round there, but it'll be from the Audis rather than yourself. How do you think that test is going to go?
I think that'll be a good circuit. I mean, I remember the Kias around there as well. Of course, the car, while not exactly the same, is similar in terms of the racing and how good it can be. So I think actually Belle Isle will be really, really good. Again, some good opportunities for overtaking that sort of back straight area. So I think it'll be interesting. Obviously, we're going to have a few crazy crashes because people won't be able to avoid other people checking up and things like that when something goes off. So it's going to be a bit interesting there, and you're going to have to kind of have your eyes on stalks, looking 5-6 cars ahead, just so you can see the track's clear, kind of thing.
Hello, Woody. Anything for old Alex here?
Happy New Year, mate.
Yeah. Happy New Year.
New Year. Well done on the races tonight. Well done on the bubbly.
Yeah,
Of
thank
course.
you. Yeah, it's nice to get that.
We had a terrific move around the outside of Ross McFarlane. One that I nearly jumped out of my seat on. And
I got a bone to pick with you as well. You called me old after that move. I was like, what are you talking about?
So did Adam just now. But I know. I was gonna. To be fair, I was gonna ask you a question based on that. Actually, was that because this track is one that you've got a lot of experience on. You know, dating back to.
Is that another way of calling me old?
Yes. It's F1 20. Well, no, I was saying F1 2010, right? F1 2010. We were here, but you've raced it in the past before that. Going from that to a track where you've had comparatively very little experience, what's your approach going to be? How different is that going to be for you, going through Detroit next week as opposed to turning up here and you know what to expect?
I mean, fortunately, we have done enough running there in the Kia and things like that in the past, and I think I've done some GT racing around there. I'm not 100% sure. So,
have you done anything in this car there?
Certainly not this car out there. No. So, I mean, I know the circuit. At least that's a positive point. So, I mean, to answer your question, like here, Spa, I hadn't done any practice and just jumped in the session today, and you know, and we're racing. I feel at Belle Isle, I probably will do an hour's worth of practice on the Wednesday night. You know. That'll be the difference, just to make sure that I'm not crashing into walls and things like that.
Makes sense. Just while we've got you here, any sort of particular hopes or ambitions for this year?
Yeah, it's an interesting one, really. I mean, in terms of Apex as the greater team, obviously looking forward to the the big championship of this again. I would like to see the guys doing, as well as they're doing now, and personally have a run at the, at the championship this time. Obviously, a couple of years back it was second and whatnot, and feel like we've definitely got an opportunity in this car. I just need to knuckle my head down and get a bit of testing in, so that'll be good. In terms of the team in other events as well, I mean, 2019 was a really good season in terms of like all the special events and the World Championship events. So if we can kind of like rinse and repeat that again, I think we'd all be happy and try and get a couple more wins. We'll be ecstatic.
Perfect. I just wondered if you can shed some light on who's in the interview channel with Paul. You were in there.
Yeah, it's Alex Keller.
Oh, right, okay. I would not have had a clue, mate, to be honest. Thank you. Thanks for joining us again. Always a pleasure.
Thank you.
We'll catch you in the next one.
Have a good one, chaps. See ya.
Nice one, mate.
Cheers, Baz. Alex. Sam Kumo with the cheeky graphic there as well, just in case I didn't notice. You didn't think that went unnoticed, Sam, I think. Think you might have got away with one there.
I don't think I've even seen whatever it was.
It said, I'm going to land him in it. It said elderly interview when we were in Alex Simpson. Who we got next for a quick word?
It's Paul Smith. Hello, mate.
Hey up.
Now then, that's the most Yorkshire start to an interview that you'll get in a while, actually. And 2 ups, and then now then. Talk us through that last lap then, because right with Rich Warmingham all the way, went for it all on the outside. It was very close, mate. You almost made it.
Because I knew that I'd lost the position there up at Le Corme into the hairpin, I knew that my only real opportunity was going to be into the bus stop chicane, and I have made moves in the past around the outside into that chicane. Yeah. So I thought, he's going to protect the inside. I've got to try and send it around the outside, and just went a little bit too deep on the brakes, and that allowed Baker to come in and get the second place. But I said it to Richard in the chat in the game. That was amazing, respectful driving between both of us, and there was a little bit of door banging, but it wasn't malicious, nothing like that. Racing. Yeah, it was touring car racing, and it was fantastic. And
I was going to ask you. I was going to say, was that one of the best races you've had on the Thursday Night Championship?
In this car, yes.
In any car?
No, I've had a couple in the Kia that have been better. But I say that this race was just the best that I've had in the Audi, and it was great driving. So hats off to Richard, because it takes two to tango.
Oh yeah, and especially around a track like this, and we've seen many times that the momentum can swing corner to corner with the straights, the long straights, and you've got to get your exits right. Especially down Kemmel, we're seeing on this is like lap 1 or lap 2, maybe. Just seeing you battling away into that corner really was something to behold. What did you do? Did you take any particular strategy into every lap in terms of what you did in La Source or Eau Rouge? Were you thinking of trying to block him off, or were you thinking of trying to stretch out as far as possible?
Well, we actually were racing each other in race 2, but it was further down the field, unfortunately. And I was.
I suppose that would make sense because you started on the front row.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But it was basically a case of, I'm somebody who's willing to work with somebody else if it means that we're going to pull away from the drivers behind, so that we can then have a one-on-one tussle at the end. It didn't quite work out. So that's when, towards the end of the race, I was getting a bit more defensive with my driving. But you've got to think the long game in this series with such a big grid. And with such close competition as well. You look at how tight the competition is throughout the grid here. You've got to think the long game. You can't just think the next corner. You've got to think 2, 3, 4 laps down the road and think, well, if I make a move here and botch it, I'm going to drag all the rest of the field into our battle. So there's no point doing anything risky until towards the end of the race.
Yeah, we said, didn't we, Adam, about sort of the middle part of the race that you two might have wanted to sort of think about working together, but at that point it was quite difficult because everything was getting a bit closer together. I don't know. We couldn't make that breakaway from. I think it was Luke, wasn't it? It was behind us. Luke, and then just behind was.
We had like Sven and all the rest of that lot coming through as well. So we couldn't quite gap out enough to break the draft. If we'd have broken the draft there, we'd have been on for going off into the sunset and having a ding-dong battle between the two of us. So
start of the final lap, that happened though, didn't it? There was a bit of contact at the first corner, and then the two of you broke away a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. And that led to Richard. But he pointed it out. I was stronger through Eau Rouge Radiant, but he was stronger through more of the technical section, through that middle sector of the lap. So we sort of evened each other out there, but it was fun. It was great. That's what I want touring car racing to be.
And that's what we want it to be as well, from our point of view, as a viewer as well. Adam, have you got anything for Paul? So we're going to have to try and get through fairly quickly because we've still got another person waiting.
Just the one. It's usually the trademark question. Belle Isle next week. Address the elephant in the room there. And how do you think that's going to go?
If you survive Belle Isle, and if we're all sensible, and I'm including myself in this, by the way, if we're all sensible, then it will be absolutely epic racing. However, because of the tight nature of the circuit and everything, one little instant and you can end up with a massive pile-up. So I think the drivers will treat it with a little bit caution to start with, and the first race should, in theory, be the safest of the lot because it's not the reverse grid. But then second and third race, oh man, you can see. I predict we're going to see some surprise results next week.
Well, these Audis are made of proven to be made of pretty sturdy stuff around here. So
pig iron in churches, I think it was the quote.
I do want to ask you actually, Paul. I've been meaning to ask you actually. What happened in race 1?
That
looked a bit weird.
That was 4 cars going into 1. It wasn't going to happen, and unfortunately, we all got together. And I was quite heated at the time. I've calmed down now.
I only saw the end of it really, and I just saw you going on the grass on your own, and I thought, what happened?
It all started. So Ross, I don't know what happened to him, but going down into Eau Rouge, he was really slow, and came back onto the racing line at a lot slower speed than Adam and I can't remember who it was fighting at the time. It was Chris.
Ben? Oh no,
it was Chris. They check up, me and Jamie Rushworth then try and dive to the middle. Jamie gets out of it, and unfortunately, what's happened is Adam's sort of giving room, but he's trying to move towards the middle of the track, and we've just all come together.
That makes sense. Makes sense.
So it's one of those things, unfortunately, that can happen. But it was one little thing just was a catalyst to a smorgasbord of instant.
There you go. I'll tell you what. We know your voice is normally heard on the iRacing Esports Network, and some of your camera work. And there's some nice camera work, some nice shots of you leading the race have been playing for the last 5 or so minutes. So I think you'll enjoy. Those.
Yeah, it's nice.
Well, it makes a change, doesn't it? Eh?
Get the sponsor some airtime, which of course is
go for it, yeah.
some more Fanatec, Overclockers UK, the Simon Racing Report podcast. We support Calder Rescue, so we have the Calder Rescue logo on our cars. We support them, not the other way around. Phoenix Racing, which of course is with the University of Coventry, and some sort of self-employed guy called Smile Time Productions, something like that. Anyway. Thanks a lot, guys.
Oh, there
Perfect. We go. Right then, we've just got one person left to go, and that would be Alex Neller. And
Hello.
Alex joins us in the commentary box right now. Alex, how are you?
Good evening, gents. I'm very well. Glad to be with you for the first time.
Evening, yeah. Good to speak with you. How did that go then out there today? It looked like there were a couple of incidents, but in general, it looked quite fun.
Yeah, well, it's always tough out there in the midfield, you know. I did have a good night. I consider a good night to be when I managed to finish all 3 races. So
fair, yeah, definitely. I think that's the goal for everyone. I think when they approach the meeting, it doesn't always go that way, of course. But is this one of your favourite tracks, or is it? I know that most people like this one, but. Is it one that you're fast at? Is it one that you're good at?
You see, I'm a bit against the grain with this one. I don't really enjoy Spa that much. I prefer kind of slightly more wiggly technical tracks. Spa's just a bit open for me.
Yeah. Well, so in that case, will you be looking forward to the Belle Isle round next week?
The sadist in me is definitely looking forward to it. Yes. This is my first time in the ARL TCR series, and if you include the BSR series that it was in the past. So, and I've never done a race at Belle Isle before, so it will be a double whammy of a new experience for me.
Well, yeah, I mean it's going to be tough for everybody. I think just surviving the 3 rounds again is going to be important. We're pretty much out of time, but if you want to give a shout out to your sponsors, friends and family, whoever, then give us a shout.
Oh, well, I'd be lucky if I had any sponsors. No, I'd just like to give a shout out to the Boosted guys, really, because we have good fun on a Thursday night, and yeah, I'd like to thank them for giving me the opportunity to race with them. And obviously a big thank you to you guys for turning up every week and doing a fantastic job on the comms.
Perfect, we'll send you the money later.
Yeah, it's 200. Yeah.
There you go. Well shouted. Anyway, out to your team.
There it is.
Always good. But yeah, Alex, thanks for joining us in the commentary box.
Yeah, thank you guys.
And hopefully we'll have a chat next week.
Certainly.
Cheers.
Ta-ra.
Right then, Adam. Well, what a round to start the new year.
Oh, feels like we've never been away, has it? And we were treated to a real class race meeting there. And I wonder what I'll do in terms of the championship. Alex Simpson mentioned earlier that he was waiting to look at the spreadsheet with bated breath to see what that result has meant for he and his team. And I'm just looking at it now. It looks like Jack Sedgwick has got a 29-point lead over Dave Baker going into the penultimate round. And Dave Baker himself, he's only 4 points ahead of Ross McFarlane, who's dropped down to 3rd place now after that not so great final race. But yeah, still very much all to play for at Belle Isle next week, and I think we're going to have to make sure we have that safety car button locked and primed, I think, because anything could happen around there.
Tell you what, just looking at the pictures on the well, the majority of them, maybe not that one necessarily, but the majority of the pictures that have been playing during these interviews have given you the idea of just what a terrific meeting it's been, and just how hard fought this championship is if you're a new viewer. But yeah, we thank you for watching. We thank everybody for being with us tonight on the iRacing Esports Network. Like I say, very happy New Year to you all, and we'll see you next week at Belle Isle in Detroit. Good night.